Mithrandiel here at TwitchCon 2016 with Ray Bautista in front of the Super Senso booth. Ray, tell us a little bit about Super Senso. Very busy stand you got here. What's this game about?
So we are very strong believers that nobody has really done justice with the turn-based strategy genre yet on mobile and tablet devices, right? We took a lot of inspiration from classic turn-based strategy games like Advance Wars, a pretty old Nintendo classic that came out on Game Boy, and we were like, man, this game was created on a handheld device, and where mobile devices and where tablet devices are now, they're so powerful, like in terms of what they could output and put out. It's like, okay, there's been so many different genres of games that have been put out on these devices. How come nobody has actually put out a really good turn-based strategy game? So that's what we're doing with Super Senso, right? Again, inspired by Advance Wars. Senso is Japanese. It actually means war. So the name translates to Super War, which is like our wink and nod to Advance Wars. Anybody that's a fan of like XCOM, Final Fantasy Tactics, please check out our game. I mean, we're not taking ourselves too seriously. Our art director we actually stole from Nintendo, so it kind of has that classic Nintendo look, a mixture of army units that you have between like big mechs, house cats on jetpacks, zombies, infantry soldiers, all that good stuff.
Awesome. Now, of course, we're at TwitchCon. We got a lot of Twitch streamers involved. So, what's Turbo and Gung Ho companies that are releasing this game? What are you guys doing to help incorporate and promote the game for the Twitch audience?
Yeah, so I mean, helping promote for the Twitch audience, honestly, we kind of look at it the other way around, right? Like, we want these guys to help us get it in front of the Twitch audience. You know, especially when it comes to mobile, in terms of the business model for user acquisition, right? Like, hey, you're playing a game, you see a banner flash up, you click on it, and you have to go. It's very intrusive, right? And that model to us is very broken because the user that is going to get acquired that way may not necessarily know the type of game that you're creating, right? So it's a very big pillar strategy for us to work very closely with content creators and make sure that they're not only kind of giving their seal of approval, but they're seeding out and showing the game in the way that we think does it justice to their community, which can then get new players in, right? Because we think that with the game that we're creating, it's a competitive PvP title. We're creating it for the core audience, but we're making it accessible for anybody that may not even be familiar with the genre to be able to pick up and play it. But at the same time, because there is so much depth to the game, we know that the way we're going to be successful and we're going to find success with the game is by creating a community organically and finding evangelists and champions that will help promote it. And that's these guys, Twitch partners, whether big or small, right? If you just started streaming, if you're a guy or girl that has 12 million concurrents, well, please call me. That's amazing, and I want to talk to you. But big or small, that's the reason why we're here, right? From a product positioning perspective, we want to make sure that we are tapping into this community because we know we're not going to be successful without them.
So when can we expect Super Senso? Is it out already?
So we're currently in beta. We've been developing the game for about 2 years. We've been in beta for about 8 months. You know, previous question I was talking about, you know, why working with content creators and social influencers is very important to us. Another aspect that has been great has just been community feedback overall, right? Really working with our beta team, with content creators that have not only been streaming the game early on while it's in beta, but also soliciting community feedback and having them tell us how to make the game better, or what they really like about it and what they think we should keep. So, you know, we've been in beta for about 8 months now. We haven't officially announced yet when the game is coming out, but I can't say that we're looking at a 2016 release. And it'll be available on iOS and Android.
Now, 2 questions.
Okay.
First, price.
Yes.
Second, microtransactions.
Yes. Next question. No, I'm just kidding. So, okay, what?
Because I mean, you know, when you talk about mobile games,
Absolutely.
one of the major things to talk about is microtransactions, right?
Yep.
So is Super Senso taking this approach, or are you charging a flat price? What's your methodology on it?
Yeah. So I might say some things in the beginning that's going to scare you, but work with me here till the end, and I think all will be revealed, right? Yeah. So, you know, the company of Turbo, really good pedigree, right? You know, I myself worked at PlayStation for about 10 years before leaving to help start Turbo. Our CEO, founder, Yohei, actually was heading up North America business development for Square Enix, so Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy. Our CTO's from Riot. Our design director was a lead designer on League of Legends. Like I said, our art director from Nintendo. So the pedigree of the company's great, right? And we ambitiously wanted to come and create a core experience for players, like real gamers, games of substance that we could put on mobile, since the install base is huge, right? We wanted to make sure that that existed. There was a point in time where, you know, there were certain games that were available. I consider myself a core gamer. There were certain games that were available on my phone where I was like, man, do I really enjoy Scrabble this much? I go, no, I don't. This is just kind of my only option, right? So creating more options for gamers to be able to play. That being said, the reason why I was going through the pedigree of and the background of the companies we used to work for is one of the reasons we wanted to create a mobile-focused studio was because of how agile we could actually be in terms of the development process. The cool thing, again, talking about install base, is the barrier to entry, right? So everybody has a smartphone and a tablet, I mean, at this point, right, more or less, and allowing to create a game where somebody can actually go in and play, it's already there, it's at their fingertips, right? So the game will be free to play, right? And the reason we're doing that, again, is to take advantage of the barrier to entry, right? We want to make sure we're getting the game in as many people's hands as possible, and we want to make sure that we're giving them as much opportunity to just download and play it. So it will be a free-to-play game. There will be microtransactions that are involved. I will also say that there is nothing that you pay for in Super Senso that you will not also be able to get just by playing. So you don't have to spend money, right? For us, we took a lot of inspirations from Clash Royale, where the only thing you would be spending money on is time, right? So if there's a really cool zombie unit, or you wanted to upgrade your unit and you didn't want to play the X amount of hours in order to make that happen, you could spend money so you could get that item faster or increase your level faster. Now, somebody listening to this might say, well, that sounds pay to win to me. Now, the way we're gonna make sure that doesn't happen, because again, we are.
People can't see me nodding my head to that.
Yes. Like I said, stick with me.
Okay,
stick with me.
You got me. All right.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where the way we're making a competitive game for competitive players, it has to be fair. You have to win on merit, right? So at the same time, we're a business, right? We want to still be able to keep the lights on. So there has to be some type of model involved where we are able to make money. Now, when it comes to, okay, how are you going to keep it fair even with that time-based model that you're talking about? We're going to do that strictly by our ELO system, right? So I name-dropped our CTO, I name-dropped our design director. They know what's up when it comes to competitive gaming. Like I said, they worked on League of Legends. Our CTO was employee number 30 there, created the back end that they're currently still using today, right? So on top of that, another big part of his job is creating our ELO ranking system. So basically what that means is, if I start playing the game now, 2 months later I'm at level 10. And let's say 2 months later, like a week, you pick up the game and you're like, man, this is a cool game. I'm gonna give Turbo some money because I really want this really cool unit. And then you can move up to level 10 in a week's time. You will always only be matched up with a level 10 player. So there's never a time where like, I'm level 10, I'll get matched up with a level 1. Level 2 will get matched up with a level 20, right? So it doesn't matter how you got there. You got to that level based on how you're upgrading your units, and whether you did it by playing or you did it by spending money, you're always going to be matched up with somebody that's
so a level 10 player that's only been playing for a week versus a level 10 player that's been playing for 2 months.
Who do you think wins? That's what I mean, right? So at the end of the day, I like to actually say, okay, like I get it, guys, but stick with us. Trust that we're going to do right by gamers on this. And honestly, the person that didn't spend any money is at the advantage, right? Unless the person that spent money is like a chess genius, then there's a lot of similarities.
Or they're an esports pro and they're like, hey, what's this game all about?
But at the end of the day, they're still going to win on merit, which is the most important, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I hope that kind of quenched the fears a little bit.
That makes sense. that helps me out. Yeah, I was getting a little hyperventilating a little bit. No, that's good. That's good.
You're like, I was about to walk away right now.
I'm like, okay, interview over. Bye. No, but awesome. So that all sounds great. So what's next for Super Senso? What are you any other shows this year? So what's on the agenda?
Yeah, I think just getting ready for release. Yeah. So at this point, this is probably going to be our last show. And honestly, we wouldn't have done it if it wasn't TwitchCon. Like, we wanted to make sure, again, that we had this presence here to get it in front of these awesome content creators and influencers. But yeah, I'd say just prepping for launch, right? So, like I said, we haven't given specifics or announced specific release dates yet, but we are looking to release in 2016, which is about to end shortly, right?
We're still in it. We only got a few months left.
Yeah. So yeah, just prepping there, taking, like I said, we've been in beta for a while, so taking and continuing to take all of the awesome feedback we've been getting from the community, and really just looking to improve the game and make it as awesome as it can be before we officially launch.
All right, well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today, Ray. The game looks amazing, and I look forward to covering it for you.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much for stopping by.